Hello friends, welcome to knowledgeola.com. So today I'm going to start a new series and in which we are going to discuss about the AWS cloud related services and their architecture diagram and design discussion. So mainly my focus will be on design discussion. Why we are using any particular services, what are the significance of using that particular design. So, as a part of this series, I'm going to more focus on the design discussion, as there are a lot of plenty of tutorials are available on AWS services. So, as a part of knowledgevala.com, we are going to focus on this particular design. So, today we are going to discuss about our first design, and this design is all about serverless web application architecture. So if you have any web application which you want to deploy and want to keep your infrastructure as a serverless, I hope you understand the serverless. Serverless is nothing but the underlying the infrastructure is not going to maintain by the customer. So it will be taken care by taken care by the cloud provider. Like if it is a AWS, AWS is going to maintain the servers like operating system update, any patches are there, they will take care of that. You are not going to think about all those kind of low level infrastructure related things. So main responsibility will be from the client side will be like they are going to just deploy the application in their respective component or services, and then they will take care of log, they will take care of monitoring of the application and alert of the application. Only those kind of things will be taken care. And and as it is a serverless, it is going to pay it based on the hourly or minute or second, whatever their term and conditions are there. So if you see here in a serverless web application architecture, so today I'm going to discuss about this very simple application deployment in serverless application. So suppose you have a website in which you are e-commerce website, so where you are going to buy the furniture and sell the furniture and maintain the furniture, something like that. It is not a very big application, it is going to be a very small application in which you can go to a particular website, you can search the furniture or home decor related stuff, and you can buy the stuff from the website directly, or maybe you can get the details and call to the customer care and get the purchase over the phone. So it is a pretty much very small application, because in this serverless application you cannot put a lot of big application as long as you are not going to maintain the infrastructure in a very well and scalable that kind of scale, very quickly. So here I'm just thinking about it, it is a very good, it is a very small application. So if you see here, our application is going to deploy totally deploying under the AWS cloud service provider. Okay, so here if you see, the first component is comes into the picture as a DNS, a route 53. So what is the significance of this route 53? Then after that we are having bucket S3, static web hosting, front end react.js. Okay, and then after that we have API gateway, lambda function, RDS, database, and CloudWatch and SNS. Okay, so I will start one by one and I will try to explain the significance of each and every service and what exactly we are going to do. So if you see, as the name suggests, DNS domain name service, this route 53 is going to resolve your the domain name service. Suppose you are going to write the knowledgevala.com, so obviously it is going to come here in this layer first. So route 53 is going to interact, it is the entry point in our website. So once this website is there, then we are having S3 bucket. So AWS S3 is providing static web hosting as well. So anyone can host application related to React.js. If your application is built on React.js or JS, JavaScript basically, or any kind of utility, basically UI technologies where you are not doing a lot of dynamic manipulations on the website. So this is a pretty much static content in which you are just connecting with the database and getting the data and then replacing the component. So if you know React.js and Angular.js, Vue.js, all these are pretty much kind of static content where we are going to replace the data with the component. So it is working in that way. So that's the reason you can deploy your React.js application in S3 bucket. So once that code is deployed in S3 bucket, so what is going to happen if you suppose you requested any URL like the knowledgewala.com, and it will come to S3 bucket and it will try to get the static data like home page, and it will start displaying to you. Suppose you clicked on one furniture in which it is going to get the price. So what it is going to do, there will be one REST endpoints call will happen, and it will go to API gateway. API gateway is kind of proxy, okay, and it is going to check whether you are authorized or not authorized based on your credential, your token. So whatever mechanism you are going to establish, that will be uh, verified here in this particular layer. So this particular layer is going to work as a front gate. So no one can go inside the database or touch the database as long as they are not bypassing, or as long as they are not satisfying the rules in this API gateway. Once API gateway is okay, yeah, you are authorized user, you can access the application. Then you can develop one Lambda function which will consume the request from the API gateway and get the data from the RDS database and then give back response to the website. So this is a pretty much a straightforward flow. If you see Route 53 S3 bucket, the request is S3 bucket. Our website basically UI, HTML, CSS, JavaScript code, all those kind of code will be available here in S3 bucket, and that is the main responsible for the front end application. And then call, every time call is going to API gateway, and API gateway is going to send the request to the Lambda function, and Lambda function is going to do the business logic. Suppose you have written a business logic, obviously that business logic is going to come inside this Lambda function, and Lambda function can be written in any language. So it is giving you a flexibility, and it is a totally independent of the UI. So it doesn't matter whether you are using Angular, React, in the Lambda function you are using Node.js, you are using JavaScript, you are using Python, or you are using Java, okay, or Go language. Any language you can use here in this particular Lambda function, and then Lambda function will connect with our database, RDS database. AWS RDS database, and that database is also can be anything. It can be MySQL database, it can be Aurora, it can be Postgre, okay, or maybe if you want you can put your NoSQL database as well. So it is up to your requirement. So right now if you see in this architecture diagram, I'm using the RDS database, and that is a MySQL. So Lambda function is going to connect with the RDS database, MySQL, and get the data, and then it will go back to the UI, and user will be able to see the data. Okay, so this is a pretty much straightforward record. Now, so if you see here, so so this component, why this component is here, CloudWatch monitoring and log. CloudWatch, basically AWS service, CloudWatch is providing logging mechanism. So if you want to store the log, continuous log from all the AWS services, then you can configure the a CloudWatch. So CloudWatch will monitor your log, and also in the CloudWatch you can put some sort of alert. Suppose there is some API call came, but AWS API gateway is not happy with the credential or whatever token it is getting and asking to get the access, then it can log that information in our CloudWatch, and also it can raise an alarm. So that alarm can go to SNS, and SNS can send an email to notification. Basically, it can send notification to multiple users, or it can be SQS, or it can be anything else, or maybe some other system. So CloudWatch is going to store, monitor, and raise a alarm for your application. And the log can be stored from API gateway. The log can be stored for the Lambda function, and log can be stored for RDS database as well. So this is going to be a centered logging process where all the log will be stored, and it can be monitored, and it will be useful. So obviously this log you can again use in some other services. So it is a pretty much a straightforward serverless web application architecture. Hope you understand this architecture. Please uh, put your questions in the comment box. I will try to answer. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.